Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to take you on a 59-mile loop of San Diego's scenic drive route, a drive that I occasionally like to take. It can be done over multiple days or in one day without even having to step out of your car. If you do plan on taking this drive in one day, plan to start early, as it takes multiple hours to complete. But it is totally worth it, and you'll be amazed at some of the views, especially on a clear day. We started off in downtown at the Embarcadero, which is on North Harbor Drive and Broadway. Here we headed north on Harbor and got a glimpse of the Midway, Star of India, and Berkeley ships. Continuing north and just across the airport on Harbor Island Drive is Harbor Island. Here you get a great view of the downtown skyline and Coronado Island. This is a quick in and out loop. Back on Harbor Drive, we head to Shelter Island Drive, which is our next in and out loop, Shelter Island. At the west end of the loop, there's a Friendship Bell, Pearl of the Pacific, and a view of Point Loma, which is our next stop. After exiting Shelter Island, we made our way to Catalina Boulevard and Cabrillo Memorial Drive onto Cabrillo National Monument. Just remember, accessing this park requires a fee or a pass to enter. We headed down towards the tide pools first, where you get a feel of not being in San Diego and more of a Baja-ish feel. After looping back up to the top and heading towards the visitor center, that's where you get a shot of the downtown skyline and the mountains on a clear day. As you exit the park, we headed out on Catalina Boulevard onto Hill Street. Here you will climb over the ridge of Point Loma onto Sunset Cliffs and Ocean Beach. The drive follows the cliff sides, pier, and onto Newport Avenue, where there are many shops and restaurants. We loop back onto Sunset Boulevard and onto Ingram Street to Mission Bay Aquatic Park. Most weekends there are many boaters and jet skiers out on the water. You also get a view of the back of Fiesta Island from here. Traveling onto Lamont Street takes us to Kate Sessions Park. It overlooks Pacific Beach and Mission Bay. I'm sure it's a great spot to look at the SeaWorld fireworks at night. As we drive up the hill past Kate Sessions Park, we head onto Mount Soledad off of La Jolla Scenic Drive. With not many obstructions at the peak of Mount Soledad, you get a true 360-degree view of the area. After leaving Mount Soledad, we headed down Via Capri to Torrey Pines Road, where you can catch a couple of pine trees in the canyon as we looped onto La Jolla Shores Drive. As you drop down onto the shores, you pass the Salk Institute, the Birch Aquarium, then head up to Torrey Pines Road to Coast Boulevard. Here you can check out the cove as you pass the cave store, some sea lions on the rocks, accompanied by the smell, and followed by the children's pool. After continuing through the La Jolla coastline, we headed onto Nautilus Street, then La Jolla Scenic Drive, which is mostly through a residential area. But this is where the view comes out of nowhere, a side of Mission Bay, Point Loma, and downtown, one of the cooler ones that I have seen. Once you come down the hill, you drive past Pacific Beach and many restaurants and bars. The strand of Mission Beach will lead you to Belmont Park, which is full of rides and a wooden roller coaster. The next stop takes us through the sports arena area and Old Town State Park off of Taylor Street. We get onto Presidio Drive and go by the Junipero Serra Museum. If you do stop here, you can walk to the backside and get a sight of Mission Valley or Mission Bay on the west side. Continuing on Presidio Drive to First Street and then onto Laurel Street leads us to Balboa Park, which you will cross the Cabrillo Bridge into the Plaza de Panama. Balboa Park is filled with many museums and shops to explore, and a couple restaurants also. As we leave Balboa Park, we drive down Park Boulevard to B Street and past the Financial District, where you're surrounded by a couple of high-rise buildings. Next is Seaport Village, which is down Broadway and off of Pacific Highway. This is another area with restaurants and shops with views of the Bay and Coronado. After jumping back onto North Harbor Drive, we drive past the Convention Center and make a turn onto Park Boulevard to the Embarcadero Marina Park, where the Shell venue sits and a clear view of the Coronado Bridge. last stop, we head back out to Harbor Drive and onto 5th Avenue where the Gaslamp Quarter resides. Here you come across Victorian-themed buildings and its colorful past along the 16 blocks, not to mention many restaurants to grab some food at the end of a long scenic drive. So that ends our scenic 59-mile drive through San Diego. If you choose to try it for yourself and enjoy the views, or just like to watch on a rainy day, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next adventure.